just a way to change things a little. We're so caught up in doing things according to a given pattern. You stand in front of the class and blabber on all day. Pattern maintenance. There's an apple tree behind the building. You asked me to introduce myself and the project we were doing together. The Fluctuating School of Artistic Research, Europe, which grew out of the project and lecture series For a New Europe, For a New Art School. The questions throughout the semester have been to look towards art as a practice or a collection of practices that can help us to answer questions about our own lives, about our position in society, about our own future, and the future of life in Europe and on the planet. In the face of a horrible war that seems to teeter on the brink of becoming an even more horrible world war. With news from Ukraine of thousands of dead, cities destroyed, in the face of these disasters of war and by other, I mean climate change, the rise of authoritarianism, etc., we met and work together, developing ideas and projects. At the heart of the seminar, the recurring questions, how art practices in the 20th century could help us to sort through this mess and try to understand and even change the world. We make some references to various inspirations, Jonas Mekas, George Maciunas, how the institutions and movements they founded could become a model for our own practice, our own institutions. John Dewey and Blackstone College, learning by doing, understood not merely as learning how to do something through actually practicing it. The classic example here being learning to ride a bike, but you have to get onto the bike in order to learn it, etc. Not this sense of learning by doing, but rather how if you get on a bike and drive around, you learn a lot about the city, about urbanism, about the economy, about the way people behave towards each other in our society. Or Dewey's example that he always cites, the way you learn about agriculture and society in general through planting a garden. How, whether consciously or not, such practices as urban gardening or activism, the activism, for example, of critical mass, are united in this practice of teaching us as a society to think by means of action, to think by doing, to learn by doing. Art is the model for this, for Dewey. Art, this heightened, intense, complete form of practice. So a kind of practice that's all-encompassing. We place this practice at the center of a utopia of best practice, in quotes. People working and living together in pursuit of their common happiness. Sounding like the Constitution, quoting John Locke. It all sounds a bit far-fetched, maybe, but it can also be very pragmatic, very much in the here and now of this day in spring.
You wanted to put those on the wall to the right when you go to the aula.
Yes. Which room do we have?
It's the gang floor.
Oh, okay. It's pretty prominent, I think.
It's right at the entrance to aula.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that's less prominent, but still. So I think the only two decisions are whether we take both of these or one of these, and also if we take this one, whether we take this and this or one of these.
I would
I think with the
I
other
would
ones we
suggest
agree.
to take both of these.
That was also my idea, kind of. I kind of.
Which both of these? Which?
Like I would keep these,
Mm-hmm.
both of them.
Change
Because
the color. Change the color here.
yeah, like to more one.
Yeah, it's more like this.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
But does it have to be the same?
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like it's not the same space.
But I mean, you can see that it's the same space, right? With this thing. But I think it changes the situation a little bit, right? You can tell that this is a different thing than this.
Well, I would suggest changing it a little bit, but just this part, just that, so a little bit redder. But it gives the communication between these is different than if it's red. Do you know what I mean?
All right.
Then maybe this a little bit brighter too. Then there's this a little bit red, this also a little bit warmer. And we added this one.
Can you make it slightly less light up there? It works like the.
Yes, I can, but I think already cool to be
Okay.
covering things maximum brightness.
And then we'll print that one. Yeah. Cool. I think that's actually a really nice picture.
Can you put your like signature there real quick? I know it's the wrong form, but they didn't have any video forms that Grazie mille.
Yeah.
But it's actually really hard to be a good actor, you know, like, so, because we're not an acting school, we should only
But
film.
what about doing the ghost ones? Because I have rollerblades, and if somebody else has rollerblades, you can just like.
Oh, that's good.
So like rollerblades, but also really long.
And maybe
Oh, wait.
maybe some sheets.
Wait, I have an idea. I have an idea with the rollerblades. Okay, so what we have is the fluctuating school, and this marker is not working so well, of artistic research. I think it's because, yeah, this marker sounds great. Okay, but in any case, it's inspired by Black Mountain College that we talked about a lot. John Dewey, who inspired Black Mountain College, this whole learning by doing thing. You can't really see it because the marker's not working as well, that's all right. And then you have Fluxus, which is, I mean, in fact, you know, this is all inspiring this.
The fuck was that?
So the big thing is the question of drag. Yeah, when you're swimming, you want to have your leg, like you don't want it to be creating this resistance in the water. And like a lot of people, the big mistake that they make is they're swimming like this, basically, in the water with their bodies like down, you know, like sort of hanging into the water. And what you need to do, I mean, this is one of the things, you don't need to kick that much. And like, okay, so the first thing you want to do is practice doing a streamline like this. So what you do is you put your hands like this, and then it should be behind your ears. Hand on top of each other, one hand on the other hand, straight, and behind the ears. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's not totally streamlined yet, everyone, but that's like the the position you always start when you push off from the wall, you always start off in that position. The other thing to think about is just like pulling the water. You know? You're not like a windmill. It's like you're pulling a rope, right? So you have to actually, they call it the catch. You catch the water. So you create like this thing where you're actually, and you're like pulling, and you're not spinning like a windmill. Yeah? That's what another thing a lot of people do. But the most important thing to do is to keep your body flat. And one of the big things to do when you want to keep your body flat is to look down at the bottom of the pool. So you keep your head focused, directly on the bottom. I mean, it looks like this basically. You have your body like this, as flat as possible, and then you basically just swim. Like, imagine, like when we're in the pool, imagine that you're on this flat surface, right?
Als das Kind war, wusste es nicht, dass es Kind war. What a stupid thing to say. Peter Handke was probably having a stroke while writing that. When I was in elementary school, my art teacher told me to draw the sun. I drew it in the most simplistic way possible, as a kid would do. But my teacher told me it's not the way it's supposed to be like, and then I drew it again and again, and it was still wrong. She showed me then how to do it correctly, so that the sun rays are not wavy, but straight. I was deeply upset about myself, not being able to accurately replicate the sun, because there is only one way, the way my teacher showed it. Ever since then, or maybe even before then, I would seek an authority person who would tell me what to do and how to do it, and even a single thought of disappointing my authority would terrify me. No one ever develops and achieves self-awareness in a vacuum. The period you grow up in and mature in will always influence your thinking. This in itself requires no self-criticism. What is more important is how you have allowed yourself to be influenced, whether by good or evil. I'm not quite sure till today how does art work and how to create it. If I copy my teacher, then my artwork is not special anymore. So who should I copy? Because if I copy the sun, or a tree or a flower, it seems even more wrong to me. We like thinking each of us is special, and things we do are unique, but in reality, everything we say has been said before, and everything we create, whether it was created already, or the idea was already somewhere there. I feel like inspiration is such a vague term. I sometimes keep thinking about those art lessons that my teacher gave me. She also taught me to finish my drawings. And I could never understand what she means by that. Don't I decide when it's done? Although I could never decide. I montaged this video for it never to be done, because I can't think of anything that is indeed done. It might be done when I die, but until then I will suffer in abundance of works I started. Last time I talked to my grandmother, she told me to be happy, and I would like to obey, but it's not like I have a full control over that. Moreover, my happiness is now fully dependent on her, and I already know that it won't end well. She is perhaps my only authority person that would not tell me the right way to do things. Whenever I created something, she showed me nothing but love and support. And I guess that's how grandmas are supposed to be. Well, except for my cooking skills, she told me I suck at cooking rice. If she wouldn't be dying right now, or if I forget about it for a moment, what would make me happy? I don't even know anymore. Anger, irritation, and cynicism have become permanent part of my state. I see adults being happy and I think they just look stupid. But then I see children being happy and I feel jealousy. I am in every image of this film. I am in every frame of this film. The only thing is, you have to know how to read these images. How? Didn't all those French guys tell you how to read the images? Yes, they told you. So please read the images and you'll be able to tell everything about me.
wieder draußen.
From Lithuania.
Das wär's. Jetzt, also das ist das Einzige.
From the same country. George Machunas, like my grandfather. Not literally literally can't even right now my grandfather right now.
Jonas Marcus is your brother?
I'm from Lithuania. Flew away. Do you know where Lithuania is? It's in the north, global north. Margins.
Ja, aber wie seid ihr denn so nervös, dass ihr auch diese animierte Serie geschaut habt?
It's beautiful weather we have here today. Winds blowing from the north.
Das ist halt geleast. Ich hab auch Anime.
Ja,
Aber bloß so
The Global South.
vielleicht so 2 Staffeln.
Ich muss sagen, ich habe lange gebraucht, bis ich es gesehen habe.
Oh, my love, would you look at this breathtaking view? Greece, the land where even Zeus himself would envy the scenery. The mountains and the sea unite in a harmonious embrace, as if they're saying, Poseidon, we're cooler together.
Yes, it's visually stunning, but let's not forget the practical side, my dear.
My darling, getting lost is part of the adventure. Who needs Google Maps when we have the stars as our guide? Besides, I've been practicing my Greek phrases. Watch this. Kalamere, I'd like one moussaka to go, please.
Oh, please spare the locals from your attempts at speaking Greek. I can already see their confused faces. Let's focus on finding our way without causing linguistic chaos, shall we?
Alright, I'll stick to ordering moussaka in English, but you can't deny the magic in the air. It's like the Greek gods themselves are playing hide and seek with us amidst these ancient ruins.
Yes, I'm sure he is having a grand old time hiding your favorite pair of socks behind every temple calm we visit. Let's hope he doesn't steal your sandals net or we'll be stranded.
Fear not, my love. If Zeus takes my sandals, I'll simply fashion new ones out of laurel leaves and twine. I'll be the trendsetter of the island.
Wondering if you're a good Greek daddy in disguise. Look, honey, it's the god of foot fashion. They'll say snapping pictures for Instagram.
The god of foot fashion. I love it. Maybe we should start a whole pantheon of vacation-inspired deities. Aphrodite, the goddess of sunscreen, and Hermes, the god of lost luggage.
Ah, darling, you have an uncanny talent for turning any situation into a comedy sketch, but let's make sure our vacation doesn't become a sitcom. We have adventures to embark upon and tales to tell, with or without divine intervention.
Agreed. My comedic genius. Let's strike a balance between laughter and exploration, creating memories that will have us chuckling for years to come. Greece awaits, and so do our misadventures.
Misadventures and all, I wouldn't have it any other way. My silly soulmates, let's dive into the kiss and the beauty in hand and show Grace what true love and let her look like.
For some people, it's only sport. For some, it's serious business. But football is more than that. And I believe it should be treated with respect and integrity. Many of today's big clubs don't respect the core values which their founders represented and wanted the club to stand for. That's why I founded Culture X. Culture X wants to find those clubs who see the problem in modern football and want to do something to change that. We want to connect those clubs to the real world and literally put them on the map, so that enthusiasts and fans and other clubs can not only socialize and inform each other, but also inspire the future and present visionaries of modern football. Culture X, Calcio per tutti.